So we do have a potential where these migrants could apply for the TNU visa and be in a sense, on a fast track to a path to citizenship. However, I don't want to make it sound as though these migrants are in some way benefiting, because they have been through an inordinate amount of trauma, and this is just further compounding their very complicated legal situation and their future in this country.
Andrea, I think I've got you again, and I want to bring you in on sort of how both pieces of this, both Title 42 under the Biden administration and DeSantis' stunts, how they are both playing with voters in Florida. Specifically, if you are working, with Venezuelans, what it is you are hearing.
Yeah, well, it was definitely a cruel and criminal political stunt that fraudulently exploited asylum seekers, and the Venezuelan community, Latinos broadly, and everyone who cares about human rights and decency are outraged. But is it enough to hurt his numbers in the Latino community amongst people who are deciding whether or not to vote at all? And really, it's up to us to talk to voters, and that's what we're doing every day, less than a month out before the election. And with Florida for All, we've knocked on over 180,000 doors and had over 33,000 conversations. It's what we're doing in Spanish language radio and billboards. But this is really the most financially uneven race in recent memory.
Yeah, you're talking about that key group there, right? Who neither party has sealed the deal. Andrea, Republican Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson debated Democratic challenger Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes last week. I want you to take a listen to what Johnson had to say about Biden's handling of the border. Here it is.
President Biden came into office, blew open the border, and removed that first necessary step that we must take. You can't offer amnesty and still have a wide open border, or you'll have a flood of millions more people coming to this country illegally. Well, first of all, I wish President Biden were more concerned about defending every inch of U.S. territory against the invasion on our southern border.
So just to fact check there is no amnesty, Andrea, and we have seen the danger of the use of terms such as invasion play out in recent memory. We don't need to wonder what language like this leads to. I wonder what goes through your mind as you hear those comments.
Just how much ground that we've lost in the immigrant rights movement, the virulent attacks and anti-migrant attacks, not just here in the United States, but around the world. And you see elected officials like Ronald DeSantis, who has moved from a novice executive into the darling of the far right, a consummate culture warrior, willing to attack political opponents and marginalized communities in service of his own ambition. And, if anyone who remembers, Florida has long been the place where political refugees come and seek safe harbor and are welcomed. And so we're seeing a real turn against Venezuelans fleeing dictatorship and coming to this country in search of a better life. And I think it's very alarming, although we have seen the Biden administration extend several protections to Venezuelans, such as temporary protected status. But it is a great concern that we're seeing these human rights of migrants erode.